What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Thomas back again with another rendition of Truth Be Told. Now this week in the news, there wasn't much going on. I mean, we had another dumbass mass shooting, supposedly. I'm not sure exactly where. I just kind of glanced at it. I'm not sure where it really took place. But it's becoming random, and the media keeps pushing these mass shootings all the time and keeps reporting them because the Democrats want to take away your guns. They want to take your rights to own a gun or to have one. So that's why you keep seeing these so-called mass shootings quite often, because they're pushing for that to try to take away your rights to bear arms. So be very careful about that, because that's what they're going for. They're attacking your rights. I did see that the new trailer for the second Venom, I think it's Venom, Let There Be Carnage. It actually looks really good. I liked it. I enjoyed the first one. I thought the first one was actually pretty good. The only thing I didn't like about it was the way they, the whole let's chop it off to where Spider-Man has nothing to do with Venom, which is a bunch of bullshit, because everybody knows that Venom is one of his major arch enemies. So it's literally, Venom isn't created until Spider-Man actually has the suit and discards Venom. So other than that, that's the only complaint I had with it, is they totally X-nayed Spider-Man out of the entire Venom story, which is bullshit. They shouldn't do that. In this one, this sequel, even though it looks really good, if you read the comics, Venom actually asked for Spider-Man's help to fight Carnage. So I don't know if they're actually going to try to make an appearance with Spider-Man or not in the second one. They didn't show it, but who knows? I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to completely leave Spider-Man again out of the story, which would make no sense, because neither one of them could defeat Carnage by themselves. They actually had to team up to defeat Carnage. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But the trailer looked pretty good. So as far as most of the Marvel stuff that's coming out right now, this is the only thing that's been done by Marvel that I'm actually excited to see. I don't care about the new Spider-Man, because it's all bullshit anyway. They fucked that all up. Black Widow, she's an okay character, but she's not like a major Marvel character, so I'm not all that excited to see the Black Widow movie. I'll watch it, but it doesn't mean it's going to be all that great or anything. I don't think it will be. There's too much feminist crap in it already from the trailer, so I don't know if I'm actually going to like that one or not. But yeah, this new Venom, I'm actually kind of looking forward to seeing it. I like Tom Hardy, and of course, Woody Harrelson, he's a great actor too. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Now, I just got done watching a movie. I actually thought the sequel was already out, but apparently it's not out till the end of this month. But when it first came out, you know, I'm not really a huge horror fan. I never really was. I did like a lot of the horror movies of the 80s and early 90s. But after that, the horror genre just got really stupid. Everybody was trying to outgross everybody, like with gore and shit and ways to kill people. You know, some of these people that do horror flicks, I think they're fucked in the head. They've got to be psychotics. But instead of taking it out in real life, they get to do it on film, you know. Some of them might actually truly be serial killers. Just found another way to, you know, release that dark side of them, or relieve it, you know. But anyways, I watched a movie called The Quiet Place, or A Quiet Place. Apparently the sequel don't come out, or prequel. It's kind of like both. It's not until the end of this month, in May, that it comes out. I thought that it was already out, but it's not. It's an okay movie. I don't think the special effects were all that great. It looked really cheesy, very computer CGI, you definitely tell. And the monsters reminded me of the demon gore, or whatever, Gorg, or whatever they want to call it, from a Stranger Things. It's literally the same monster. Except for they do this thing where they open their ear canals really wide so they can hear every little single sound, like pin drops and shit. And that was basically their weakness or whatever. Like, they couldn't figure that out until the very end. It was kind of dumb. That part, I thought that was dumb. The other thing, there was one part in the movie that really it irritated the holy piss out of me. The mother's doing laundry, and she's walking up the steps, and this bag of laundry supposedly catches on this nail, and then she yanks up the nail to where it's pretty much sticking straight up out of the board on the steps, and then walks up the rest of the steps. Now, I'm sorry. First of all, it was just, you knew it was a setup. Someone's going to step on that fucking nail. It's so dumb. It's like, you know, the writers and the director, they had to know that was just so blatantly a setup for another scene. The second thing that irritated me about it is nails go down into the board. They don't stick up out of the board. Like, if it's a board for a step, you're gonna nail, so you got the flat of the head at the top. You ain't got the nail pushing up this way. Nobody nails steps that way. It's just so dumb. That irritated the piss out of me. That it was like that. It was so ignorant. The other thing that irritated me was the little boy at the beginning that dies. Takes the batteries, puts it in a little rocket, turns it on, and then the creature comes and kills him. The little boy, it's been going on. They know they've got to be quiet or these creatures are going to kill him. So the little boy should know better by now. I mean, he should be terrified of these things to where he knows that if he makes any kind of noise, they're going to kill him. So I don't think the boy would have done that. I mean, if it was more based on reality, the boy wouldn't have done it. So that was pretty stupid. Like, they got to have some reason to kill one of the family members right off the beginning. It was dumb. The whole pouring sand everywhere was kind of dumb too. I thought. I mean, I get why he was doing it, so they could walk around and not make a whole lot of noise when they're walking on the sand. But to do it everywhere, it was just kind of dumb. I could see doing it on, you know, going over leaves or something like that, you know, in the forest or sticks or whatever, so you're not, you know, making that crunching sound when you. But anywhere else, like on the pavement or something, it was kind of dumb. He literally had sand everywhere, going on the pavement and in the roads, in the stores. It was dumb. But yeah, other than that, those few things, the movie was all right. It's basically about an alien invasion movie, and this is supposed to be, you know, almost a year after the invasion has happened, and about this family trying to survive with these alien monsters killing everybody, you know, and them trying to not get attacked by not making loud noises. You can't make loud noises. The aliens pick up on it and they'll attack you. So I don't know. It was okay. Wasn't too bad. I think it could have been done a lot better. There were just some moments in the movie that made no sense. Like, no one in their right mind would do that kind of thing. It was kind of, some of it was kind of dumb. But other than that, it was okay. I'm actually looking more forward to seeing the sequel than I was this one. When it first came out and everybody hyped it up so much, you know, I didn't care because it was a horror flick. I didn't care to see it anyway. But I went ahead and watched it. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing the sequel, although I'm not a big fan of Emily Blunt. She's okay. But we'll see. We'll see how this sequel goes. So, yeah, just being honest, the movie was okay. It just, you know, there's scenes in there where you're cringing because you're just like, no one's gonna do that. What the fuck are you doing? Everybody has movies that, you know, they see those particular scenes, they're like, what the fuck? What is wrong with you? Why did you fall? Why? Why did you fall? He's standing right there. Why did you fall? Get your ass up and keep running. You know, you know what I'm talking about. Everybody has them particular scenes in movies. And this one had a few of those in there. Like, that's so dumb. But anyways, let's get on to your B-movie reviews. Alright, Movieholics. This week is Sci-Fi Week. Now, I went with a couple of, you know, your critter type or like creature feature type films. You can either go horror or sci-fi, even sometimes fantasy with these. This is more sci-fi than it was horror or fantasy, so I went with two of them. The first one is a Netflix movie. It was done in 2009. It was called Infestation. Uh, it only made about 37,000, you know, at the box office. It really didn't do all that well, which is kind of surprising because I honestly thought this was actually a decent movie for a B movie. It started Chris Marquette and Brooke Nevin was the female lead. Basically, you know, Chris's character is having a normal day at the office. You know, it sucks. And then there's this flash. He's blacked out. And when he comes to, he finds himself pulling himself or tearing himself out of a cocoon. A webbing cocoon. He starts opening others to release others from their cocoons. They're trying to figure out what the hell happened to them. They eventually figured out they'd just been invaded by some type of alien race. They're like insects. They're like giant insects. Not quite like Earth-like insects, but similar. So they're trying to fight their way through the city to get away from these insects. They of course lose people and stuff on the way. He figures out he should go to his dad's because his dad's, you know, ex-military and has you know, a bunker with military weapons and shit like that in it. Now you don't. It never once does anyone in the group try to figure out if it's if it's a worldwide event or if it's just there in that town or that city, which I found kind of odd. But other than that, they know the city's been, or the city's been taken. The father hatches this plan that they should go and take out the mothership, if that's what you want to call it. It actually looked like some giant, huge mud dauber nest is what it looked like. You know, it was a bunch of caves and crap inside this giant meteor or something. Anyway, his idea is to go destroy this nest. Now, along the way, they figure out that if you're stung by like some of the flying insects looking aliens, that they can convert you into a hybrid of the insect and a human, and then you become like their slave or whatever. They also the guy, the main guy, Chris's character, you know, along the way, Brooke is kidnapped, and he wants to go to the nest and see if she's okay, you know, if he can save her or not. So that's why the father hatches this plan to go in there and save the girl and blow up the nest. Towards the end, there's just three of them. There's this big black dude who's he's kind of he's not really mentally disabled. He's kind of slow. Kind of like someone with Asperger's or something like that, you know. Him and then the girl and the guy are the main character, Chris's character. They all get out of there, but the father, he ends up staying behind and blowing the place up. So all ends well. But again, they kind of left it off for a sequel, and they talked about doing a sequel to this movie, but it just never happened, unfortunately. I would have liked to have seen a sequel. I thought it was a pretty decent movie for a B-rated movie, and a movie that's after the year 2000. I would say movies got kind of bad after 2010 is when they started getting really bad. They were just starting to get bad in between 2000 and 2010. But this is actually not a bad movie for a B, and by Netflix. Yeah, some of the CGI was a little cheesy, you could tell, but most of it was actually pretty decent. So I give the CGI, or the special effects on this movie, I actually give it, you know, I would say, you know, a -4. It was actually pretty good for being kind of cheesy. The acting wasn't bad. I give it a solid 3. The story wasn't all that bad either. I mean, yeah, you've seen alien invasion movies before, but the only alien movies where they're kind of like insects that I've seen is Starship Troopers. So this was actually, yeah, it was a little bit different. So I give the story a, you know, a decent 3 as well. It was actually not bad. Overall, the movie, as far as a B-rated movie with a little cheese in it, I give it a -4. It was actually pretty good. I definitely would have seen a sequel, you know, if they had put it out there. I give it 2 thumbs up. Check it out. The next one, a lot of people have probably heard of this. I don't know if they've actually watched it or not. It's called Eight-Legged Freaks. At the box office, it made about $45 million. It was done back in 2002. It starred David Arquette and Carrie Woohooer. The story is basically, you know, toxic sludge falls off truck. Oh no, we've heard this before. Yes, it's been done several times. Toxic sludge falls off truck, goes into lake water, gets mixed in with spiders. In this case, it was a spider shop. The owner of the spider shop was feeding the spiders all the like worms and crap coming off this lake bed or whatever. So the spiders started to mutate. There's an old mine in the town that they're in, and the spiders kind of take over the mine. It's a dying town. The mayor is the cause for all the toxic goo that's coming into the town. He's trying to sell off the mine in the town to people who want to use it as a toxic dump. And he's trying to convince all the people to sell their homes and move. Eventually the spiders get so hungry and so big, they come out and they start attacking the townspeople. Naturally, the townspeople got to fight them all off. And then, you know, towards the end, David Arquette and this Carrie character, her character is the sheriff. And she's just this little tiny petite little thing, and she does not come off as a badass sheriff or some shit, but they try to make her look that way, which was kind of dumb. David Arquette, he plays a character who actually, his father owned the mine, and when he passed away, it kind of fell onto him. But he's been gone from the town for a long time, and he just now came back because he heard of the situation of what was going on with people being told to sell everything. He came to find out what was going on, why they were trying to get him to sell the mine. But yeah, they eventually figure out that the mayor's behind all that. But not until they pretty much, well, towards the end, they blow up the mine with the spiders in it, and everybody's saved, and that's pretty much the end of the movie. It was alright. It wasn't a bad movie. Something to watch. Special effects were probably a good solid 3. The acting was a good solid 3. You had some decent actors in it. Story-wise, it was okay. I'll give it a 3. It was okay for what it was. Not the greatest of movies, but not that bad either. Overall, I give it a 3 as well. It was decent. It was decent enough to watch. Something to pass the time, pretty much. I give it a thumbs up and a thumbs down. It was okay. It was just okay. If you're afraid of spiders, you probably wouldn't want to watch this movie. It wasn't as good as Arachnophobia, but it was okay for what it was. It was kind of, you had a little bit of comedy, in it as well. So it was okay movie. Check it out if you want. Anyways, that's all I have time for this week. Those are my honest opinions about those movies. If you have, let me hear your thoughts on anything I said previously at the beginning of this video if you want, and leave it down in the comment section down below. If you could think of any underrated gems or classic movies that you think I might not have heard of or have seen, please leave your suggestions down comment sections. And that's pretty much all I have for you this week. So until next time, I told you you'd be told the truth, and you just been told.